Deion Sanders' future in college football is tied to retirement. The Deion Sanders era in Boulder has been a spectacle, brilliant at times, chaotic at others, but always impossible to ignore. Coach Prime didn't just take a job at Colorado. He transformed the Buffaloes into a national storyline, blending his celebrity charisma with the raw ambition to make Colorado football matter again. But after the brutal 53-7 loss to Utah and mounting concerns about his health and support system, the conversation has shifted from hype to hard questions. How much longer can Deion Sanders continue this fight? This season has tested Sanders more than any before. What once felt like a movement now feels like a reckoning. The Buffaloes' 3-5 record, 1-4 in Big 12 play, is not just a reflection of on-field struggles. It's a mirror of deeper instability surrounding Sanders himself. Between his ongoing health battles, the potential retirement of a key ally in athletic director Rick George, and the relentless pressure of maintaining a national brand, Sanders finds himself standing at a crossroads between perseverance and preservation. A season that exposed everything. After a rousing win over number 22 Iowa State, the Buffaloes looked revitalized, an echo of their thrilling 2023 start when Sanders, Shadur, and Travis Hunter captured the attention of college football fans everywhere. But Utah changed everything. The Utes didn't just beat Colorado, they dismantled them. The 53-7 defeat was more than a box score embarrassment. It was a psychological blow to a program built on belief. The Buffaloes recorded negative total yards in the first half, allowed 422 rushing yards, and looked overmatched in every phase of the game. For Sanders, the loss was humbling. "This is probably the worst beating I've ever had," Sanders admitted afterward, his tone carrying a rare vulnerability. "Except for when my mama hooped me as a kid." It was humor tinged with heartbreak. For the first time in his tenure, Sanders sounded less like a showman and more like a man grasping for solutions. The physical toll of greatness. Behind Sanders' public confidence lies a body that's endured more than most realize. In 2025, Sanders revealed that he had undergone major surgery to remove bladder cancer, a fight that left him scarred but defiant. He's battled blood clots, chronic pain, and circulatory complications that once required partial amputation of toes. And yet, through all of it, Sanders kept coaching. He's often said that faith and purpose keep him going, but those close to the program know that the daily grind of college football has taken its toll. Sanders even drafted a will during his treatment, a stark reminder that his resilience comes at a cost. The question now is whether his health will allow him to continue leading at this intensity. Every game, every practice, every press conference adds up. His drive is undeniable, but so is the where. The Rick George factor, the foundation beneath Prime. If Deion Sanders is the face of Colorado football, Rick George has been its backbone. The university's athletic director was the one who took the gamble on Sanders in late 2022, backing him through skepticism, media frenzy, and internal resistance. George's unwavering support gave Sanders freedom, creative control over recruiting, marketing, and even staff decisions that few first-time college coaches enjoy. Together, they built an environment where Coach Prime could operate without compromise. But George's rumored early retirement could disrupt that delicate balance. Without him, the political dynamics in Boulder could shift dramatically. College football insiders like Bruce Feldman and Stuart Mandel have openly speculated that George's departure might accelerate Sanders' own exit. If Rick George retires, one source told The Athletic, "I don't see Deion staying much longer." Kevin Borba of Locked on Buffs added that Sanders' current level of institutional support is rare. Few programs in the country would give him this much freedom. If that goes away, it's hard to see him continuing. Simply put, George's presence isn't just administrative, it's existential. Without him, Sanders' autonomy could evaporate. Coach Prime's dual reality, motivator versus manager. Deion Sanders is, at his core, a motivator. He inspires with words, charisma, and conviction. But college football demands more than that. It requires relentless management of logistics, recruiting pipelines, and locker room dynamics. At times, Sanders has thrived under that weight, particularly in his first year when his bold rhetoric re-energized a dormant fan base. But as the program has matured, cracks have begun to show. His staff turnover has been heavy, with multiple assistants leaving within 2 seasons. Recruiting momentum has slowed as well, with some prospects choosing more stable programs despite Sanders' appeal. The problem isn't that Sanders can't coach. It's that he's stretched thin. Between media obligations, nil management, and health limitations, he's fighting battles on too many fronts. The result? A team that reflects its leaders' exhaustion. Boulder at a crossroads. Colorado's 2024 campaign gave fans a taste of what could be. A 9-4 record, a bowl berth, and a sense that the Buffs were finally rising again. But the 2025 version has regressed sharply. The offensive line remains a glaring weakness. The defense, once fueled by Hunter's versatility, now struggles to contain even mid-tier Big 12 offenses. And the swagger that once defined them has given way to uncertainty. In Boulder, belief has always been Prime's currency, but belief, like momentum, is fragile. The upcoming slate offers little relief. With games against Arizona, Kansas State, and Texas Tech still on the schedule, Colorado must win at least 3 of its final 4 contests to reach bowl eligibility. A tall order for a team that hasn't scored more than 17 points in its last 2 outings. The human behind the brand. Off the field, Deion Sanders remains one of the most compelling figures in sports. He's not just a coach. He's a father, a mentor, and a walking embodiment of perseverance. His transparency about health battles and mortality has humanized him in ways fans never expected. When he talks about drafting a will or fearing another surgery, he's no longer the untouchable superstar of the NFL's golden age. He's a man confronting the limits of his own body. That honesty has inspired countless fans, especially those who fought their own health battles. But it also raises the uncomfortable question: how much more can he endure? The legacy question. Even if his Colorado tenure ends sooner than expected, Deion Sanders' legacy is already secure. He brought relevance to a program that had none. He made college football talk about Boulder, Colorado every Saturday. He changed recruiting, branding, and athlete visibility in ways that will echo long after he's gone. But legacies aren't static, they evolve with endings. If Sanders retires, it won't be from failure. It will be from necessity. He's already hinted that he values life beyond the game. His children, his faith, and his health. And as he said before, God gave me a mission, not a timeline. The road ahead. As the 2025 season winds down, all eyes are on Boulder. Can Coach Prime rally his team for one final push? Can he withstand the mounting physical and emotional strain? And if Rick George steps away, will Sanders stay and fight, or walk away before his health forces his hand? Every great story has a defining chapter. For Deion Sanders, this may be it, the moment when legacy and longevity collide. Because when the cameras fade and the stadium empties, the truth remains simple. Deion Sanders doesn't need college football anymore, but college football still desperately needs Deion Sanders.